over the Q2. And Q2 is 1, so that is how we get this one. And you can also see this from the units, right? The unit of electric field is Newton per Coulomb. So it is a force over a charge. That is why the electric field is force over a charge. At what point, then the Q is substituted at the charge at that point. So E is the electric field intensity. All right, intensity. It is, well, maybe we say E as electric field, but you need to know that this is in intensity. Because I just emphasize again and again, make sure you know every physical meaning of every lattice. Okay, the D is epsilon E. This is the constitutive relationships of the Maxwell equations. I write it over there, right? You have 3 constitutive equations. D equals to epsilon E. J equals to sigma E, right? The B equals to mu H. Do I need to write it again? Okay. Constitutive relationships. So Maxwell equations, you have, this is Maxwell equation. I write it again. There's a minus sign, okay? And curl of E, this one is divergent of D equals to charge density. Divergent of B equals to 0. This is Maxwell equations. 3 constitutive relationships. D equals to epsilon E. B equals to mu H. J equals to sigma E. So I talk about it again. So this is Maxwell's equations. And this is the constitutive relationships. Okay? Epsilon is the permittivity. I believe you have met this permittivity. This is epsilon. Mu is the permeability. Permeability. That is, if the mu naught is the permeability constant. It is 4 pi multiplied by 10 to the power of 7. Okay, it is constant, but we always have a mu r with it. Mu r means the relative permeability of this material. For most of the case, the mu r is 1. That means this one. That means this material doesn't have magnetic kind of properties. Okay? This is just for knowledge. I don't think this is gonna be passed. I don't know. And this is permittivity. So permittivity also has a epsilon naught and epsilon r. This is the permittivity constant. This is the relative permittivity of this material. If one material has epsilon r, that is a dielectric constant. Okay? We also call this dielectric constant. I said this because I remember that you are going to there's a chapter is about the propagation in the lossy media. Lossy media. That is the dielectric constant of this. So these are the 3 constitutive relationships which always hold. These 4 are the Maxwell equations that is to describe the behavior of the electromagnetic field. Right? This B is the magnetic flux density. You can see the D is electric flux density. They are interconnected. Right? This curl of B equals to 0 just means that whatever the magnetic field will going outside will coming back. If you have an enclosed surface, like if you have a magnetic, is it? How to call it? If you have a magnetic has a north pole and a south pole, all the magnetic field that's going outside is going to go back to this one. That is the reason why you get a 0. But the divergence of D is the electric flux density equals to charge. That means if you have a charge here, right? Everything is pointing outside. There's nothing coming back. Then if you have a closed surface, then what is inside this closed surface? You will find there is a charge inside your closed surface. That is the reason why you have a charge density over here.
Design is a Q.
Charge density has to multiply something, then you'll get a Q. I have said this right. If the charge density is about volume, then I integrated to a volume, and then this is dV, right? This is how I get a charge. This is charge density. Density have to multiply by something, then you can get the charge. Right? So this is the meaning. Alright? So this is curl of electric field equals to minus, this one is the Faraday's law. But this one is Faraday's law, and this one is the Ampere's law. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this one.
I don't understand the G.
G.
The first one.
G. Which one is G?
J. Yeah.
J. So this means this is curl of H, and so if you get a magnetic field, H is the magnetic field intensity, right? Then you get two kind of current. Do you recall? I talked about this. You get two parts of the current. One current is the conductive current, and one is the displacement current. So this one is JD and JC. This is how we electric engineers write this kind of thing. So basically, in the nature, we have two kind of current. One is conducting current. So that is, if you have a closed circuit, right? Then you can see the current going through it. Is it? If you have the ampere meter, right? You can see the current, and you can measure it. Then this is the conducting current that is visible. But after this kind of AC source appears, there's also another thing up here, that is, we have a capacitor. This is a capacitor. I can say that there is still one kind of movement of the electric charges inside this circuit. Is it? Because this is AC source, and this is capacitor, and then you see, if you have an AC source, then the electric field can still go inside. But because people think this one is an open circuit, then how can this be an open circuit and the electric, you can still see there's a current here. You can see this current here. But there's no electric field. Electric field cannot, electric charges cannot just jump from one part to another, right? That is the reason why we introduced the JD, this kind of concept, to explain this kind of phenomenon. So we call it displacement current. Displacement current is equals to the partial D over partial T. Okay? Yes, the J is the current density. J is the current density. If you want to know the physical meaning of this letter.
Is this concept is same as the semiconductors? We say that the displacement current and the conductive current, like the electrons decrease from that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, kind of. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see. Okay, so this is how we get a D. D equals to epsilon E. This is constitutive relationships, and we just multiply E over there, and then we don't get it here. So D is electric flux density. Just go home and just remember every physical meaning of the letter. Because sometimes the people don't do that nice, and they just ask questions in words. They don't write D or E, and then you just confused. This kind of thing really happens, and it just causes you to lose a lot of marks out of no reason. There's no point, right? So just make sure you remember this. This is a charge, positive charge, starts N, and the E depends on epsilon. E depends on epsilon. D does not, only on Q and R. So yeah, you can see it very clearly from the formulas. I don't know, yes.
Two questions. One is if we know the charge density, how we calculate the electrical flux?
So you know the charge density here.
Yeah.
How you calculate the electrical
The
flux?
flux.
How to calculate this one?
No, flux. Electrical flux.
B.
D.
Magnetic flux.
Electrical flux.
Electrical flux D.
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 D right?
D is the density,
No, flux density.
the total
Flux
flux.
density.
Total flux. Oh.
So the D is electric flux density, right?
Yeah, how we calculate the total flux?
Total flux. What do you mean by total flux?
The symbol is the 0 or 1 or
Zero
How we measure this? How we measure this?
or five.
Uh,
Phi equals to B dot S, right?
Yes.
B dot S.
Yes.
Because that phi is magnetic flux.
then
You said
electrical
phi,
flux.
This phi is B dot S. This is for magnetic.
meaning this, right? That's
Yeah,
not.
electrical don't have the flux.
Electric flux is the D.
D is the density, so means also the same.
D is for corresponding to B. What's dense? I just come back to this problem later, right? Okay. Mark it. Oh, there's a second question. Yeah.
Can you explain the G, which is the constitutive equation? G equal to what times E?
Oh, conductivity. Conductivity. That is the conductivity to describe the material. Conductivity. So basically, for like copper, it is 6 multiplied by 10 to the power of 7 or 8.
Conductivity is supposed to be given, right?
Yes, it's going to be given.
J is called what?
J is the current density.
Current density.
By the way, I recall one of the questions that was asked by one of the classmates. The question asked about the displacement current. They do ask about this kind of thing, right? They ask about the displacement current. If you don't know this, then you just lost marks. Displacement current leads to JD. JD equals to partial D over partial T. Coulomb's law versus Gauss's law. Let's see what is happening here. General and easy. What's this? Gauss's law. Symmetric. I don't know what's the point of this slide. Anyway, it's not going to test it anyway. Coulomb's law's cookbook. So this slide just like emphasize everything about Coulomb's law. Define an origin. Write vector Rs from origin to source. That is charge from origin to source. Let's write vector Rp from origin to field point. Find a vector from source to point. Coulomb's law. Any problem about this part?
This one, sometimes R square is R cube. I don't understand. One use R cube, one use R square.
Oh, okay, you can see this one is a hat. Unit vector. It doesn't have amplitude. It only has direction. This one is just a direction, which means it has direction and amplitude. Okay? So this one means this one multiply a R. This one means a unit vector multiply R, SP. So just there's a difference when I write the thing about it, like R hat. It just means a unit vector. Unit vector. What does it mean? What does unit vector mean? It means just a direction, no amplitude. If I write something like R, like in this, it means it has R, which is magnitude, and multiplied by the R unit vector. Understand that part, right? Okay. So about this, any more questions? Like you can see, the electric field is how to say that, linear superposition of the electric field that is caused by every charges 场的叠加, right? So we can see this is sigma here. So the total electric field is going to be the electric field that is caused by every charge on it, and then you just linear superposition of everyone. Linear superposition doesn't mean just plus plus plus. They have directions. So you need to do the vector calculations here. Let's quickly go through. Gauss's law, major points. So this part is about Gauss's law, right? This one is Ampere's law, this one is Faraday's law, these two are the Gauss's law. These two are the Gauss's law, so you can see divergence D equals to rho V. He has a rho V, which means this is charge density over volume. If it is rho S, that is charge density over a surface. If it is a rho L, it is charge density over a distance. Get it?
Can you repeat again?
No need to memorize, just to understand. Rho V, V means volume. That means the charge density over a volume. It tells you how much charge it has over a certain volume. That is the reason why when you calculate the charge, you need to integrate the density over a volume. If it is rho S, that is that one is rho S, that is surface. So it means how much charges you have over a certain surface. Like I have 2 coulombs per 1 meter square. Then if you want to know the charge, you need to multiply the density to the surface. Okay? If this is rho L, how do you calculate the charge? You need to multiply the density over a distance. Right? But like if the distance is not a constant, then you need to use the integration calculations. Okay? That is really like, see? This is rho V, so integrate over a volume. Integration, and this is the rho D, so this is rho V, right? The divergence of D, this one is rho V. Rho V, yeah. Then you get a Q. Divergence, so this one, let's say it again. Density multiply a volume, you get a charge. This integration just because the volume is not a constant. Problem about this one? It's okay, I can say it many times if you don't understand. I can find a new way to talk about this. Okay, if you have questions, just say. This is how you get the charge. This is the divergence theorem. You see this many times and it's very powerful. Okay, divergence theorem. Do I need to say it again? Divergence theorem is, you can see this one is S, this one is V. This is divergent, and this one the divergence is gone. So you can see that their power term has some certain kind of corresponding relationship. If this one just decrease one power, and then this one will increase the power. 它们的次数是对应的。I don't know how to speak it in English, but do you get my point? Right? This one is V, so that is
Volume.
Yeah, it has 3 dimensions.
So,
This one has 2
so this one 3 integral, not 2 integral, right?
Physical meaning of this one, do I need to repeat? Physical meaning of the divergence, do I need to repeat?
Divergence theorem, right?
Yes.
You are writing as a from surface, you are integral and closed surface, right?
Yes.
The surface itself is a closed area only, right? Is there any separate meaning?
No,
Like
I think I said this last time about divergence and divergence theorem and the Stokes theorem. The surface in these 2 theorems is different. Everything has to be closed, but in different situations. For this one is V. You see, if you want to get a V, then you need to have a closed surface over a volume. This is the kind of close that I meant. About the Stokes theorem. Stokes theorem is there is a closed loop, and the surface inside the loop. That is also a closed surface, but that surface is something like this. It doesn't like this. These are the 2 kinds of closed. Get it? Really? Get it?
I mean the second part, that integral S, right?
Yes.
So that is also close to surface, right?
Yeah, this kind of closed surface is like this kind of closed. But for the Stokes theorem, that kind of close is you have this loop, and that close is this surface. Okay?
So this is considered as a loop.
No, this one is not a loop. This one is a relationship between a surface and a volume. So this surface has to be closed, and this volume is the volume inside the closed surface.
Like the one surface of the basketball and the basketball inside fills of water is volume.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah. Do you understand?
Volume I understand, but
Yeah.
the surface, if you're putting a contour on the integral point, right?
Mhm.
So if the AS fields is a closed surface or just the surface?
Close the surface.
So closed surface is not the loop. Loop is different.
Different.
Yes.
Yes.
So loop means the contour will not be there, only the integral part and the S only.
It will be there.
It will be there.
Yeah. That is the reason why I tell you this kind of the closed the circle will exist in both cases. But you need to understand the physical meaning. The closed is different. The circle means different thing for these two kind of things.